Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." But how can many Americans follow by that when they live with food insecurity? Current U.S. systems in place keep minority communities in a cycle of food insecurity by means of failing food programs, a lack of education, and improperly used subsidies. In a 2013 paper, Determinants of Food Deserts, in the American Journal of Agricultural Economics, states that food insecurity is not knowing where someone's next meal is going to come from. A food desert is a community of people who do not have access to affordable and healthy food. Adjacent to that is a food swamp. A food swamp, much like a food desert, does not have access to healthy, affordable food, but in place of that, has an abundance of fast food, which is calorie dense and lacking nutritionally. Let's start with the subsidies. The government does not have the health of the people in mind. The goal of our agricultural system is to fund the most food production at the lowest cost. In practice, this ends up being corn and soy grown the most in the US, and then we use that to then feed it to livestock to produce meat, dairy, eggs, and fish. Programs like the food stamp program or the FSP then use these animal products to be fed to people who cannot afford healthier options. Not having these healthier options affects everyone of all ages. In a study titled "Long-Term Economic Effect of Early Childhood Nutrition," published in The Lancet in 2008, states that for young people who do not receive adequate nutrition, it means that they will have stunted growth, they will have less academic achievement, and fewer employment activities. One of the specific studies in this case followed children who were given nutritional supplements for 2 years, and then they followed up with these people in their adult life. They found that those who were nutritionally substituted for just 2 years, I believe they were 4 years old, they received 50% higher wages at their place of employment. As for the older generations, living with food insecurity their whole life means that they will suffer with obesity, heart disease, and cancer. Oftentimes what you see in these communities is that they are on food stamps and Medicaid. So where the government is saving with subsidies for agricultural programs, they are then losing money having to help out these people that are impacted by their choices of growing cheap food and feeding it to livestock. Segal writes in 2010, "Food deserts in New York City: Causes, Impacts, and Solutions," that there can be a way to fix this, but not if the goal is to make money. We have to fix the US food systems so that we take care of our people first, so that there are no consequences to take care of later. One of the things that we can do for this is, instead of subsidizing the use of corn and soy, feeding it to animals, and then only using a small part of those animals to feed these communities, the government should, in place, first subsidize the growth of healthy foods that can be sold immediately in communities without the calorie and nutritional negative pyramid, I'll say, of taking food, feeding it to an animal, and then us eating the animal. As well as the food stamps being for healthier food, what they could do is provide resources to people who are on this program to learn what a healthy meal is, and even to how to grow their own food in their backyard, and it would bring communities closer together. Thank you for listening. My name is Jenna Brown, and together we can fix this food crisis.